Light bulb. When everything fails, Allah shows the way. A modern Islamic awakening. He had it all, or so the world told him. A high-paying job, a luxury apartment, a social media following that envied him. But every night, he felt empty, restless, haunted by a question he could not ignore. Is this all there is? Until one evening, when everything he thought he knew crumbled, he found a light that money couldn't buy, a path that only Allah could show. The city never slept, and neither did Ayaan. Towering skyscrapers of glass and steel reflected the neon lights of advertisements promising success, wealth, and happiness. At 28, Ayaan had mastered the art of looking perfect to the world. He had the sleek car, the designer suits, the Instagram-worthy apartment, and the flawless online persona. Yet, inside, he was unraveling. Every achievement felt hollow, every compliment meaningless. Even when friends called him lucky, Ayaan knew it wasn't luck. It was exhaustion, soulful, unrelenting exhaustion. It all began subtly. Ayaan noticed that despite being successful, he couldn't focus. He scrolled through social media endlessly, seeking validation he never felt. Notifications were his heartbeat. Yet, late at night, in the quiet of his apartment, the emptiness returned with a brutal clarity. One evening, after closing $1 million deal, he returned to his penthouse. The celebration around him felt surreal, almost theatrical. He poured himself a drink, stared at the skyline, and whispered to himself, "Why am I so tired? Why does nothing feel real?" He hadn't spoken to his parents in months. His childhood memories were confined to blurry pictures on his phone. Friends were acquaintances. Love was transactional. Deep down, he feared admitting to himself that he had been chasing everything except peace. He remembered the words his grandmother once whispered before she passed away. "My son, only Allah can fill the emptiness of a heart." At the time, Ayaan thought she was old-fashioned, someone clinging to faith out of habit. Now, he realized he had never been more lost. One night, after another sleepless evening filled with scrolling and meaningless meetings, Ayaan left his apartment without thinking. He walked through the city streets aimlessly. The neon signs and traffic lights blurred into a strange haze. The sounds of honking horns and sirens couldn't drown the silence he felt inside. He stumbled upon a small mosque tucked between two modern glass towers, its simplicity contrasting sharply with the chaos around him. The soft call of the adhan echoed gently, almost like a whisper meant only for him. Ayaan paused, feeling an unfamiliar tug in his chest. He entered the mosque hesitantly, expecting judgment or awkward stares. Instead, he was greeted by a calm stillness. The walls were simple, the carpets clean, the air filled with quiet dignity. He sat in the back, unsure why he had come. Minutes passed. He listened to the people praying, their focus evident, their peace almost tangible. For the first time in years, Ayaan felt envy, but not the envy of other success. It was envy for the tranquility he had never known. Days turned into weeks, and Ayaan found himself returning to the mosque. He started small, just observing, sitting quietly, watching people leave their worries at the door. He picked up a Qur'an that had been resting on a shelf, dusty but inviting. He opened it randomly, and the words struck him as if written just for him. "And we have already created man and know what his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein." Quran 50:16. Ayaan's chest tightened. How could this be? A book written centuries ago spoke to his very modern, very broken heart. At first, he tried to resist. His rational mind argued, this is coincidence, a psychological effect. But the nights of peace that followed his reading couldn't be ignored. He began learning Salah, starting with the basics, stumbling through Arabic words he didn't understand. Each prayer felt awkward but liberating, like lifting weights from a soul long burdened by unseen chains. Slowly, the anxiety that had defined him began to loosen its grip. The constant buzzing in his mind quieted. Sleep, deep and undisturbed, returned after years of restlessness. One evening, as Ayaan walked home, he noticed a group of young professionals laughing over cocktails in a rooftop bar. He remembered that life vividly. the one he had abandoned so abruptly. He felt a pang of fear. Would he ever fit in again? Could he live a modern life and still hold onto this newfound peace? But the Quran's words echoed in his mind. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Quran 13:11. Change had begun. He couldn't undo it. With newfound courage, Ayaan started sharing his journey online. Not flashy, not to boast, but honest. He shared sleepless nights, moments of emptiness, and the discovery that Allah's guidance was not only comforting but empowering. He spoke about how modern success often blinds hearts, how social media can be a cage, and how spiritual fulfillment is a treasure that transcends money or fame. His audience grew, slowly at first, then exponentially. People resonated. Comments flooded in. I feel like you're speaking to my soul. I've been lost too. Thank you for showing the path. But the real test came when an opportunity arose to return to his old life. A higher-paying job with perks beyond imagination. The same circles, the same intoxicating allure of the city. Ayaan hesitated. Memories of sleepless nights, anxiety, and emptiness flashed before him. Then he thought of the peace he had found in Salah, the wisdom he had discovered in the Quran, the love and respect he had begun earning from people genuinely seeking guidance. He declined the offer. For the first time, he felt freedom, not from financial worry, but from the shackles of a life built only on appearances. Ayaan's transformation inspired those around him. Friends began questioning their own paths. Even family noticed a calm that was unmistakable, a light in his eyes that money had never brought. He started programs for youth, teaching the importance of spiritual balance in the modern world. He spoke at universities, online platforms, and community centers. The message was simple, yet revolutionary. You can chase success, but do not neglect your soul. Only Allah can fill the emptiness no one else can. Months passed. One rainy evening, Ayaan stood on a quiet rooftop, looking at the city below. Neon lights reflected on wet streets. Yet he no longer felt envy or longing. He felt gratitude. The struggle to find meaning in a fast-paced, modern world had led him to something eternal. He whispered a silent prayer, a smile forming on his face. Alhamdulillah, you did not abandon me when I abandoned you. You guided me when I was lost. I am yours completely. That night, as he lay down to sleep, a thought struck him. Guidance is not just about personal peace. It is about sharing, inspiring, lifting others from despair into hope. Ayaan understood that the modern world is filled with distractions, stress, and emptiness. But he also realized that a heart seeking Allah's light will always find it, no matter how lost, no matter how modern, no matter how chaotic life becomes. And that light can never be dimmed by wealth, fame, or technology. If Ayaan's story touched your heart, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to Dean in Minute to witness more journeys of guidance, hope, and true spiritual awakening. Share this video with someone who feels lost, because sometimes Allah's message comes through the voice of another. And remember, your soul's peace is more precious than anything the modern world can offer. Click subscribe, and let's journey toward Allah together.